Ladies and gentlemen, ever since President William Ruto got into power, there are so many mistakes that he has done, and I personally feel that he could have avoided. And some of these mistakes actually resulted to him being hated by most of the Kenyans, and even Kenyans suggesting him to go home come 2027. Others are even wishing that he could have gone home early enough. Now, some of these mistakes have occurred as a result of the domestic activities or even international engagement. That is going to form the basis of this analysis here today. But before I take you through, kindly, if this is the first time you're watching our videos, please make sure you've subscribed, liked, and comment, because that is the best support you can always give this channel. I'm sorry I've not been posting videos for the past few days. It's because nimekuwa na homa kali sana, but now I'm back and hopefully itaisha vizuri so that sauti yangu irudi back to normal. What are some of these mistakes that President William Ruto has done in the year 2025 that I feel strongly that that have affected his relationship with the Kenyans? Number one, it is first of all maintaining his constant talking. Now, I'm saying constant talking that the president has literally decided to be the spokesperson of the government. He speaks on everything, whether lie or true. He speaks on anything, whether necessary or not. When you talk constantly to Kenyans, you are telling them things, some of them are not real. They eventually develop a negative attitude towards you. Right now, as we know, Kenyans are calling William Ruto a liar. This is basically because of the way it keeps on talking and some things don't eventually actualize. This results to Kenyans feeling that this gentleman is not presidential. So that is one of the mistakes that he has been doing. It is not just locally talking about local things. Even internationally, he has lost favor, especially even some of these things resulted to him making Raila Amolo Odinga to lose the AUC seat. For instance, telling the African continent that he has called Macron to brief him about the situation in DRC, a big mistake that he could have not have done because there are more other presidents in Africa. Just talking was the mistake that he made. He could be having the idea to talk to Macron, but talking that he has saying it that he has talked to Macron, or even deciding to talk to Macron, that is just simply talking too much as a president, especially when you are tasked with the role of being the chairperson of the East African community. Now, therefore, too much talking has been one of the problems that William Ruto has been facing. In this talking is where he gives promises, he gives responses, and lies eventually develop. That is one of the worst things that has happened in this country, where a president is perceived not to be believed by any other person in this country. Now, number two thing that has been doing is being ignorant. Kenyans have complained about so many things that are very pertinent, very basic to their livelihood. For instance, it is SHA. I remember one Kenyan left Kenyatta National Hospital straight to the straight to the Afia house, stormed into a meeting and complained to the minister, cabinet secretary, in charge of the health docket. And he told them that SHA is not working. And as a result, we realized that that lady was arrested. That is huge, that's the biggest amount of ignorance that was so not supposed to be shown by the president. Why was this lady arrested, to be honestly speaking? Apart from that, why was the president not even asking them to release her immediately? Apart from that, why was the president not calling the cabinet secretary in charge of SHA or in charge of health to come and explain some of these things? As a result, they are constantly, the problems that Kenyans were complaining about during that time are constantly happening until date. And that's the problem that we have with the president, ignoring what Kenyans are crying about. Even if eventually SHA works, it will reach a point where Kenyans remember how they cried at the beginning. And that really hurts, which will make people hate William Ruto more. After all, if they hate you now, it's not easy for someone to love you, especially being a leader in power, maybe facing challenges each and every day. It's not going to be easy for William Ruto to redeem himself if he keeps on ignoring what Kenyans are experiencing. And one is about housing levy. As we speak right now, 95% of Kenyans rejected the housing levy. Constantly, we are having people taken their money taken to construct houses that they are going still to buy from. This hurts Kenyans a lot. And in fact, this puts William Ruto at a serious situation where he knows very well in 2027 probably there's a likelihood that the 3 million, both private and the public sector employees, are not going to vote for him. The 3 million are not going to vote for him because they have all suffered because of SHA. Because I gave an example before and said, someone has borrowed a loan of 3 million. He has bought a piece of land. He has built a house. He is now paying back the loan. Then you come and take still some more money from him in the name of going to build a house somewhere else for other people. That means you've ignored the feeling of this gentleman who sacrificed, who is paying a loan to go and build paying alone for the house and land that he has purchased before. So, in a nutshell, it is not easy for all these workers across the country. So, that ignorance affects William Ruto at large, actually resulting to this hatred. And the thing is about unnecessary expenditures. William Ruto has completely decided to spend money anyhow. The travels that is making every now and then to a county, and then there's nothing significant comes out of that. In that, you don't find things like development projects coming on board. You don't find things like a project that is complete being launched. Is just coming to promise now and then. Those promises he keeps giving each and every year, when are they going to be achieved? As a result, you realize that William Ruto makes people to go back to how he's operating. The public expenditure. You realize that a lot of money is used to transport cabinet secretaries from Nairobi to go and have a meeting in Kakamega. Yet they could have just held a meeting in Nairobi. So, in a nutshell, poor expenditure of public funds is one of the things that also resulted to Kenyans hating President William Ruto. I have to admit here that one of the largest, or one of the main things that William Ruto has done as a mistake, it is simply allowing abductions and extrajudicial killings to occur in his reign. This is the reign where youths have come up strongly, decided to participate in politics, analyze their leaders, scrutinize them very well, and also ensure they're criticizing the government. Then you decide, despite having these people enlightened, you deny them the freedom of expression by abducting them and then ensuring these people, some of them have been killed. This is a sad story because these youths do not forget. In 2027, some of them will be mature enough, they'll wake up and go and vote. And we know very well they will vote. The fact remains that if William Ruto continues to abduct these people, it's going to be worse and worse on his side. As Kenyans keep on remembering that this is the gentleman whom, during his reign, people were being abducted, people were being killed, people were disappearing, were being tortured. That means very well that William Ruto will keep on being hated, and that's one of the greatest mistakes that is making us to speak right now. Another one I think is ministerial appointments. All the cabinet secretaries that William Ruto is having, none of them so far has proven to be competent. In Kibaki's time, we had Michuki. In Uru's time, we had Matiang'i. Who is this person who is very competent in William Ruto's time? That is the biggest challenge. Now, you get someone like Alfred Mutua, only talking of taking Kenyans abroad to be slaves. Only that. And you keep this person in the cabinet. You expect him to give you ideas that are going to take this country far. You reward people instead of bringing competent people to offer services to Kenyans. That is one of the greatest problems or mistakes that William Ruto has ever made in this country, giving us a cabinet that he has fired and refire and then bring more who are still incompetent. Very wrong. We realize that after the dissolution of the cabinet, that William Ruto did not care so much on development because he brought on not Kindiki, but Murkomen, the gentleman who has been incompetent in two other successive appointments. He has failed in transport, he failed in sports, now he's in interior, he's again starting to fail. And the William Ruto does not see that. From my side, I feel it's the failure of President William Ruto to concentrate on development or performance, and instead he goes to concentrate on loyalty and friendship. I don't know what's your take as far as William Ruto is concerned. Let me see on the comment section on some of the mistakes that you feel that he has made, yet he could have avoided. See you next time for more videos.